Police have blamed the PCEA church in Mwiki, Kasarani, Nairobi County, where Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was attacked by goons for failing to notify the police of the high-profile engagement as they launch investigation into violent disruption that left several injured and property destroyed. The Sunday incident occurred when a group of rowdy youth stormed the church, demanding money and vandalizing property before being chased away by the police. According to the authorities, over 100 motorcycles, each carrying 2 to 3 passengers, arrived at the church shortly after the former DP's entourage. Witnesses reported that the youth, some of whom appeared to be armed, began causing commotion inside the church, harassing attendees and demanding handouts from politicians. Gunshots were heard during the confrontation, prompting officers from the Mwiki police station to rush to the location. According to a DCI statement, preliminary findings indicate that the gunfire came from the VIP security personnel and licensed civilian firearm holders who acted to protect the leaders from the advancing mob. Speaking from Mombasa County, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has said that the police will get to the bottom of the matter and bring the perpetrators to book.
Part of the reason why we are dealing with gangs here is to make sure that there is no place in the Republic of Kenya where we will allow any goons or gangs to invade any facility. This country must be led by the rule of law, and injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. We are not going to allow extrajudicial processes to continue in the country. We must remain a country of law and order, and it doesn't matter. Ours is apolitical. We do not subscribe to any political side. Ours is to make sure that everybody can exercise their right freely across the country without being hindered, as long as they are going about it peacefully.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And former Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakumicha has denied any involvement or knowledge of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's alleged role in a 3.7 billion Kenya shillings mosquito net procurement scandal during her time as Cabinet Secretary for Health. Nakumicha, who is the Kenya's nominee for permanent representative to the UN Habitat, made the statement during her vetting before the National Assembly's Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee earlier today, where she was questioned about procurement irregularities reported at the Ministry of Health. Nakumicha said to the query raised by Belgut Member of Parliament Nelson Koech, stating that she was completely unaware of the Gachagua's alleged influence over the KEMSA's tender, which was highlighted during his impeachment proceedings in October last year. She clarified that she only learned about Gachagua's involvement when the impeachment process was underway, after she had already been dismissed from her position.
At the point while I was serving chair, and with the information that I was given, his involvement was not there. I got to learn of his involvement when the House was going through the impeachment process. That is how I got to learn that most likely he had been. But as I served, I was not aware of that. Thank you, Chair.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And the Ministry of Health has launched the newly formed NHIF Pending Medical Claims Verification Committee and Secretariat formed on March 30th. The committee, led by Chairperson James Oje, is tasked with examining pending bills accrued from the defunct NHIF from July 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2024 and make recommendations to the Ministry of Health on settlement of the debt.
As we embark on this assignment on CS, we need to take note of the stock of debts before us. We are aware of the desire to scrutinize, examine every bill to ensure that we recommend what is quality and what is payable.
During the inauguration of the committee, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale tasked the group with determining the genuineness or otherwise of each medical bill before making payment recommendations. According to the Health Ministry, available records indicate that the defunct NHIF owes healthcare providers approximately 33 billion Kenya shillings.
This committee has been established to provide an independent, thorough, and transparent review of the medical claims submitted to the defunct NHIF. All genuine claims of healthcare providers will be paid, and this committee will be held responsible for the payment made to services not provided.
Pearl Newsbeat.
High Court Judge Alim Visram has allowed the scheduled auction of properties owed by Moses Kuria, a senior economic advisor and prominent political figure, due to a financial dispute. The properties in question include apartment blocks located in Ruaka and Juja, both in Kiambu County, and were set to be auctioned starting tomorrow by Garam Investment Limited. The auction was initiated to recover an outstanding debt that Kuria allegedly owes. In his ruling, Judge Visram highlighted that Kuria had failed to meet his financial obligations concerning a loan he secured several years ago. According to the auctioneers, Kuria had been notified multiple times about the unsettled debt and the auction before the parties took the matter to the courts.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And 2 people from Homa Bay County were injured during the ongoing ward grassroots elections of the ODM party. Confirming the incident, Ndiwa Sub-County Commander John Loisa said the chaos erupted after 2 groups clashed at the Butcher Primary School, with one person losing his left wrist and another suffering deep cuts. In Migori County, the elections were marred with allegations of irregularities, with a session of party delegates calling for suspension of the elections. ODM is expected to continue with the elections on Tuesday to vote in representatives at the constituency level.
Nimeshukuru sana tena sana kwa wamama, vijana na kadhalika. Leo tarehe 7 tumechaguliwa na watu wengi. Vila nimechaguliwa na wamama, inaonekana kama nimeenda unopposed.
Portal haijafunguliwa mpaka jana usiku saa 6 hailikuwa haijafunguliwa, na kama ingelifunguliwa usiku ingesaidia nini? Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo tungependa sana yaongelewe, lakini kwa kifupi naomba uchaguzi wa Suna West kwa sasa hivi ifanye nini? Isimamishwe, isikubalike.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And more than 600 people gathered at the United Nations office in Nairobi to commemorate the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. The event, held in collaboration with Rwanda's High Commission in Kenya and the Office of the Director General of the United Nations office in Nairobi, brought together members of the diplomatic corps, the Rwandan community in Kenya, and Friends of Rwanda. Speaking at the gathering, the UNON Director General Zainab Hawa emphasized the importance of unity in the face of hatred. The genocide, which occurred over a span of just 100 days, resulted in the brutal killing of close to 1 million people, primarily members of the Tutsi ethnic group. The international community's failure to prevent or hold the massacres continues to serve a stark lesson on the cost of silence and indifference.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.